Hello everybody, this is Mr. Trama, third grade teacher at Radnor Elementary School, representing the team that includes Mr. Moore's class, Mrs. Gozzard's class, Mrs. Haji Alice's class, Mrs. Kabeski's class, Mrs. Ingram's class, as well as my own. I want to start out by thanking the people who are responsible for putting this together. I think it's a wonderful idea. It's the next best thing to being there. It's a very thoughtful gesture, and it's appreciated very much. The walk through Wayne has been a trip that's been around for decades and decades, a long time. It originally started as a walk to Wayne from the old Wayne Elementary building, where they would walk into the town of Wayne from their class. And actually our Radnor Elementary experience starts with a walk also. So if you stay with me for a moment here, we'll take you on the same little walk that we would have gone on if the trip had been able to be held as usual. So a large group of parents and students would be heading across the street right now and heading up to the pedestrian walkway up ahead here. The original trip also included an experience that the third grade class had with students from the town of Wayne, Maine. They were pen pals with that class, and they had some fun experiences together with that group. We've been doing this every year since our building's been open, which was 2001. It's been going on long before that, though. At Ithan in the past, it was a trip into Bryn Mawr at times, but those streets turned out to be a little too busy to have that many elementary students trying to cross busy intersections all the time. Wayne seemed to be a better town to choose for that. So, our big long caravan of people would be walking. Hopefully it wasn't walking in the rain like I'm doing today. Although we have had trips where it did rain. I'll tell you about that in a minute. Here we are. And here we are above Matson Ford Road. Watch the cars go by. Not getting rained on here, but the one year it did rain, and it was November when we took the trip. If you want to ask Mrs. Haji Alice or her son about that trip, they'd have a lot to say about that. It was cold, and the rain was being whipped by the wind, and it was coming down at about a 45-degree angle, and we still had the trip. Several of the students to this day say it was their best field trip they've ever been on. So the trip would continue down below here. And eventually, we'd go right under those trees there, and we'll let you know where that's going to end up in just a second.